exactly how to build it. So it's completely up to you. I kind of leave it up to you guys what we go over and what we cover. Obviously, I know how to do pretty much anything whenever it comes to bot building. So it's like I said, it's pretty much up to you guys. If you just want to do Q&A, if you have live examples of things that you actually want to build, then you can just tell me that. And then we'll go through and I'll show you exactly how to build out those things. So so we can go ahead and get started. So if you guys want to just kind of let me know what things that you're not understanding, what things that you really want help with, and then we can start from there.
Okay. Well, as for myself, just take it straight through. I don't know. I mean, I'm starting from the beginning, starting from scratch. And my brain works better if I see it through demonstration. I don't know about anybody else, or where anybody else is with their bot.
So do you have a bot? Do you have something set up already? Do you have a bot that you've started on already on one of your Facebook pages?
I am in the process of one, yes.
Do you would just want to leave the link inside the comments here so we can check it out real quick, and then I can go in and start seeing what you're doing, and then we can kind of talk about maybe what things you're wanting to accomplish in your bot, and then we can just build out some of those flows right on the live session.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting because the bot that I was building was, in a sense, not, let's see, it's just to teach myself how to do it, but it's not necessarily directly for a business at this moment. Sure. And so it's more so to prove a point to myself, I guess,
it's just so you can learn. Yeah, understandable. Understand that 100%. If you want, still link the page in, just drop it in the comments and we'll check it out. And then if there's things that you want to build or you've been trying to build and you kind of been struggling with, then we can talk about those and we can go through and just build those flows out and show you exactly how to do it.
Okay. I see what you're saying. So what I have got so far is talking to like just in a friendly manner to friends. So it's not in any, it's just like I want to send it to people that I know on a personal level. Let's see, give me a moment. I'm stuck in your screen, my friend.
Dana, Will, how are you guys doing today? Great. Anything in particular you're wanting to see and you're wanting to learn, Dana?
Please.
Yeah, no problem, Will. No problem at all.
Let me find it.
Even I'm stuck at work, but I'm always at work. I work like 20 hours a day, but that's what it takes whenever you're the boss. You gotta just work. So such is life.
Such is life. Give me a moment.
So what are you trying to do in your first workflow, Dana? What are you trying to accomplish in that first flow? Okay. So both of those things, I don't know how far you are with those things, but both of those things that we already have examples for you. So here's a couple different flows here. As you can see, if you type in my bot, if you type in this demo bot, hopefully you guys are actually subscribed to this demo bot. If not, I'm assuming you are, because I'm assuming that's how you got to the training. So if you type in this demo bot coupon or coupons or messages coupons. So you can see that whenever I sent my bot the message coupon, he actually replied to me and said, sorry, John, I've already given you enough coupons. So he doesn't want to give me, my bot doesn't want to give me any more coupons because he feels like he's already given me enough. So what I need to do is come in here and actually find myself and then basically go in and tag myself, or actually remove a tag, or actually go in and find this coupon's delivered 1 and set that back equal to 0. So now that I set that back equal to 0, I should be able to go back here and say coupon. And now he's going to say, sure, I can get you a coupon. So he says, you know, hey, here's your coupon. I've also emailed it to you. So if I check my email, I should have just got a coupon. As you can see, I just got a 15% off coupon there. And there's a coupon attached there. And here's a coupon attached here as well. So that's a pretty straightforward way to actually deliver coupons. And if you look at this particular flow is pretty straightforward. This must not actually be the right one. So let's go back in and look at coupon and look at this 15% coupon. So this flow is pretty straightforward. So all we have here is we have our starting step. The very first thing that we do is a conditional check. So the very first thing that we do is a conditional clause where we check to see how many coupons that we've delivered to this person. So if we've delivered them, if we've delivered them less than 1 coupon, then we will actually deliver them a coupon. If we've delivered them more than 1 coupon, then we're just going to go in and tell them, you know, sorry, I've already given you enough coupons, and we're not going to deliver them another coupon. So if we've delivered them less than 1 coupon, we just send them a message that says, sure, I can get you a coupon. Then we have another conditional check to see if they've given us an email address already. So if they've given us an email address already, then we're just going to trigger a zap. This zap is just called email coupon. That's how the coupon was actually emailed to me through this zap right here. This zap just basically fires off a zap, and that zap is just the first thing is the first thing is the first trigger is just mini chat, and then the second trigger is Gmail. So if he hasn't given us a coupon, if he hasn't given us an email, then we go in and actually ask for his email address to try to get his email address from him. Once he gives us his email address and we continue on our flow, we trigger that zap, email out his coupon. And then we go in and actually deliver his coupon through the bot as well. And then we just increase the value of coupons delivered by 1. So we'll increase the value of coupons delivered by 1. And then that's pretty much it on that flow. So that's for a simple coupon. And I also have another demonstration for one-time use coupons. So you said it seems like you're using a different platform. So for this training, I use MiniChat. So for this training, I use MiniChat. What platform do you use?
This one I was going through a Chat Fuel is where I started.
Okay. Well, I mean,
so then let's disregard that, and then because the process is similar. regardless of the structure of it.
Correct. The process is really similar, but you will find that I would really recommend, if you're not an expert bot builder, I would really recommend that you, especially if you're on a, let's say if you're on a free account with Chat Fuel and you're not paying them money, haven't subscribed yet, I would really just recommend that you switch over to ManyChat while you can before you get too in depth in it, because what you'll find out is they have more functionality. They have a better support team. They add new features, new updates very, very often. They have a great support team. And on top of that, they're easier to use. They're much more intuitive for non-programmers and non-engineers. Very easy to use.
Good to know. Thank you.
So that shows you the flow for a simple coupon. Now, if you want to do a one-time use coupon, then we've got something there for a one-time use coupon as well. So we can just look here at this one-time use coupon and look at this flow. So now we can see the exact same thing here. Now, first thing I want to do is go in and I'm going to want to change this custom field on myself. So if I come in here to my bot and say one-time use coupon, I think that was the keyword there. Looks like it was the keyword. Now you see he's just delivered me a one-time use coupon, as you can see. So now he's got this unique code. So now I can tell him, yes, I got this coupon. So now this use coupon, all it would do is link up to a website or something. I think I need to go in and actually make that video for that because I don't think I've got it. So now if I try, actually I did make that video. So now if I go in and try one-time use coupon again, now if I try this again, he should not deliver me another coupon, I believe. I don't think he's going to want to deliver me another coupon. So he does say, please confirm that you got the coupon code. The coupon will not be valid until you confirm. So I'm going to say I didn't get it because he didn't send me one. And it says right there, it seems like that I've already given you a one-time use coupon. You can only use them once. So we could actually change that really. We could change that really easily. We could change this really easily. So what we want to do here is to make this a little bit better. We want to have a condition here that checks this field that he's got yes. So we want to go in and check that field here and just say, hey, if this condition is got coupon, if this is true, and actually I'm going to say if this is false, then I want to put him in this flow.
I like that it's drag and drop. That's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. This is why I said I'd really recommend using ManyChat over anything else. So now if he's false, I'm going to pop him right in down here to this false. Okay, because this is the same block where I told him, hey, I see that you've already got a coupon. So now that makes that flow just a little bit easier where I'm not going to, because if you see what happened in the first place, you see what happened here in this first place is I asked him for a one-time use coupon. He did not send me a coupon, but he asked me to confirm that I got the coupon. So that's not so user friendly because, I mean, obviously the user is wondering like, no, you didn't send me a coupon. So I'm going to edit my flow for that so that now he's not going to, now before I ever even do anything, I'm going to check to see if this got coupon is false. If this got coupon is false, then I'm going to go in and start this normal flow to go in and actually to go in and deliver this coupon to them. And if it's so actually what I want to do is I want to copy this again, and then I want to actually take this didn't get coupon, and instead of routing this didn't get coupon straight down into this message that says I see that you already got a coupon, I actually want to route them into this conditional clause right here. I'm trying to specify that, so let me refresh this page. So I want to route this guy into this conditional clause right here. And if this is false, I'm going to route him into that. If this is true, then I'm going to go in and trigger that guy. Okay. So now what I did is now this allows for the fact that the one-time use coupon is actually delivered through a zap. So there's a zap that goes in and actually pulls this one-time use coupon from a list of one-time use coupons from a spreadsheet of one-time use coupons, and then delivers it back to the ManyChat user. So something could happen and that zap could actually fail. So before in this flow, and that's why I just edited it, before in this flow, I didn't allow for the fact that the zap could actually fail. If he didn't get the coupon, well, if he didn't get the coupon, that could be for two different reasons. One, he's already got a coupon, so I didn't deliver him one. Or two, the zap failed. So now if that zap failed, I can handle that. So now whenever he says, hey, I didn't get the coupon, then I can go in and check and see whether or not he actually got that coupon or not. I'll check this condition to see if he's actually got that, coupon. So now probably what I want to do real quick is I want to go to Zapier, and I know I'm not doing this yet in Zapier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Zapier, and I'm actually going to go to this one-time use coupon. I'm going to find this one-time use coupon here. And now what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to add one more thing. I'm going to go to ManyChat. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to set this custom field to true. So I'm going to set a custom field, and I'm going to set this got coupon field to true once I deliver this through Zapier, so that I know that, hey, this is actually, it's going to be the last thing that I do. So I know once I actually deliver him this coupon through Zapier, then I can update that field and say that, hey, yeah, you've actually got this coupon. So I'll go in here, find this one-time use, find this got coupon. That was coupons delivered, I'm pretty sure. Nope, this is got coupon. So what I need to actually do is come in here to Zapier. I need to refresh these fields, and then come in here and recheck these, and now get this got coupon field right here. And then now I'm going to set its value to true. So now he's done exactly what he needs to do. So now we just basically went in and edited this flow with some conditional logic, so that as soon as you type in one-time use coupon, the first thing we're going to do is to check to see if the got coupon value is true or false. If the got coupon is false, so if it is false, then this condition will evaluate to yes, to a true. So if it is false, that means you haven't got a coupon yet. So what I'll do is I'll trigger that zap, and I'll go in and trigger that zap. Now I have a delay of 6 seconds. The reason that I have a delay of 6 seconds is because I know in this zap right here, one of these steps, this step 4, I'm going to send a coupon back to the user. So since I'm sending a coupon back to the user and I'm going to send a message from Zapier, here in my flow, I want to wait enough time for that message to come back from Zapier. So 6 seconds should be enough time since it's an instant zap on ManyChat side. So as soon as I hit trigger zap, that's an instant zap. So now 6 seconds, since the flow is really easy, and on the Zapier side, 6 seconds should be plenty of time for Zapier to do its job, go look up the coupon from the spreadsheet, deliver it from the user. Now, after it delivers it to the user, then I can continue with this to go in and say, hey, did you get your coupon or did you not get your coupon? Well, if he says he didn't get his coupon, I'm going to go in and check this condition to see if got coupon is still false, because it could be that my Zap actually had some misfire and didn't actually work for some reason, because from time to time that does happen. But I do know that at the end of my Zap now, I've updated this to actually go in and after I deliver him this coupon to set this custom field to a true. So now I can check to see, hey, is this false? Did you not get a coupon? Is that false? Well, if this is a no, meaning that got coupon value is a true, right? So this would evaluate to know if got coupon is true. Then I'm going to send him this message to say, hey, I see you've already got a coupon and I'm not going to give you one. If this ends up being true, which means got coupon is false, well, then what I'll do is I'll just trigger this Zap off again, because that Zap must have misfired. So I'll just trigger him off and then walk him through this flow again. So now if he says he's got coupon, then I'm going to update this value to yes. So now this process is actually not necessary. I could get rid of this because I've already actually done this now in the Zap, but it's not going to hurt to leave it there. So I'm just going to leave it there. And then I'm just going to deliver him this message to let him know he can go over to our website to actually use that coupon, and then give him a little call to action so he can go out to the coupon. And then here I go in and actually, in this demo bot, pretty much any of the things that you can do in this demo bot, I link a tutorial video to show you exactly how to go in and create this Zap, exactly how to do this, exactly how to go in and create your flow. I've created a tutorial video for you that you can go in and watch. But that is a piece of premium content, and what that means is, since it's premium content, you actually have to subscribe to my bot and you have to pay me $10 a month in order to access all these tutorial videos. So this conditional logic goes into check to see if you've actually paid that $10 a month and have an active subscription. And if you have an active subscription, then he'll deliver you that tutorial video. If you don't have an active subscription, then he's going to take you to this flow that allows you to go in and actually sign up for the subscription. But this is the other type. So now we had 2 different types. We had the one-time use coupon, and then we had the normal coupon that was just delivered 15% off. So now if I come back over here and I ask this guy, again, one-time use coupon, now he's just gonna pipe me in right here automatically. Since I modified that flow, he's going to bypass. Before, he didn't bypass, and he brought me in here and delivered this to me. And on the Zapier side, now I could actually go on the Zapier side. I could go on the Zapier side and I could remove this filter now if I wanted to. On the Zapier side, I have some filter that filters to make sure that this is false, that he has not received a coupon yet. So if I wanted to, I could remove that, because I've added that conditional block into the flow itself. But it doesn't hurt to have this redundancy. It's not going to hurt anything. So I'm just going to leave that redundancy there, and I'm not going to get rid of it.
Why don't you mix the batter instead?
So So D, this is you, right?
That is me. It is me, I would say dipping my toes into the water, but not really full-fledged into anything because I'm just starting.
So I would definitely recommend, I would really definitely recommend that you go in and, um, I would definitely recommend that you go in and just switch from chat fuel to mini chat, because you will find that mini chat is much easier to use. But what you really want to do is you want to go into your settings, and then you want to go in right here to this greeting text. Okay, this greeting text is going to show up right here. Okay,
Okay.
so that this greeting text is going to go to show up right here. I'll show you what that looks like. If you go in to this, if you go into this guy now that I deleted that conversation, you see it will show up right here. It's just a little description of what your page is about, or, you know, why somebody should interact with you. So you want to go in and add a little description there. Now I'm going to click on get started.
That's funny stuff.
Now the
Come on,
other,
this is supposed to be humorous.
the thing I'm going to suggest to you here is this is a big no-no. You see what you've done here?
What have I done?
You gave me way too much content. I mean, this content doesn't even fit on, it doesn't even fit inside my messenger screen. You've given me, now I've got to go scroll up to get this
Valid
content.
point.
How you want to deliver content? You only want to deliver content at a pace that your user can consume it. No more, no less. Okay. So you literally want to deliver content on par with, if your consumer, if your user is there actively engaging and actively looking at your content, you want to deliver content only at a pace that he can actually consume it. Okay. So you deliver, let's say you deliver this message right here, right? You deliver this little message right here. Now, how long is it going to take for him to read that message? 2 seconds maybe? So put a 2-second delay. Let him read this, put a 2-second delay, and then give him this,
A chunk
right?
more. I see.
And then give him another 1-second delay, and then maybe
more
give him
like
this.
a conversation.
Correct. Because now this guy, you know me, I'm going to just go away because you gave me too much content. I got to come up here. You've given me too much content to read. But if you give me, if you can string me along, and this is done all the time in marketing, if you can string me along and you can give me content little by little, the more time that I invest in ingesting your content, since I value my time, the more time that I spend, you know, consuming your content, the more likely I am to consume more of it. Because now as you give me more content and more content at a pace I'm able to consume it, I continuously invest my time in it. Right now, how much time have I invested? None. I just clicked your button. I haven't invested any time at all. You dump me a bunch of content. I don't want to read it. So I'm just going to go away. If you, and I can see how much content you're going to give me. If you give it to me little by little, I don't know how much content you're going to give me. So I'm going to consume that first little snippet. You're going to give me some more. I'm going to consume that, and I'm going to stay there. And the odds are, now at some point, sure, if you give me so much content and I don't want to consume it, at some point I'm just going to leave anyways and stop consuming your content. But I will consume more. If you give it to me little by little, I will consume a much larger amount of your content before I finally bounce than if you do it this way. So that's one thing you really want to do. It's a really good practice to never give one single message that does not fit in the messenger screen. If that message does not fit in the messenger screen, then your message is way too long. You want to break it up into multiple messages and deliver it out piece by piece.
Thank you. That's good to know. Appreciate it. Funny stuff, though. I started it the other night in like the wee hours of the night, and then I was tinkering around, and then I had to stop to edit a manuscript instead, and I've just finished that, so now I'm back to this. But it's only the beginning, so if it hangs up, it's probably because I don't have everything linked as should be.
Right.
But again, I do like that this one is drag and drop, and it's a little more user-friendly in that
So
area.
you see, whenever I get started, the first thing that I did was just give you a small amount of content that fit on your
Mm-hmm.
screen. I gave you enough delay for you to go in and actually read this content. And then after that, I gave you the second piece of content, which is also enough content to fit on a screen so that at any time you're consuming the content, it's going to be in the screen and you don't have to scroll up to go in and do that content to
Oh,
read that content. So that's a great practice to keep and maintain. So you don't have a real goal with the bot on this page other than just to teach yourself?
No, there's an actual goal behind it. I have not only for my own ventures, but I have several friends who have their businesses online, and I think this would be of use and of value to them, and I figure if I can practice on them and get the hang of it, I could, I don't know, add it to my tool belt.
Okay, so the ultimate goal is to learn how to be efficient at this and how to build bots easily so that you can offer this as a service to sell to other people.
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's totally possible. So there's a huge industry that's growing right now in bot building. So it's really lucrative. I've sold bots. I've sold really simple bots for $2,000-$3,000. I've sold bots for $20,000 before. So it's really lucrative, and it's really trendy and really catchy right now. So is there anything in particular that I could help any of you guys with that you'd like to learn how to do that you're not quite sure how to do yet? Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm the one. Oh,
Whatever.
Definitely will. I think it will be a great side hustle outside of a standard 40-hour week. I think it could also completely replace, if you do it right, you can completely replace your 40-hour a week bot, your 40-hour a week job. So I think you can completely replace that. If you signed up to the training and you come to the training, the last week of training, so the training starts on the 2nd of December. The last week, so it's on the 30th of December. That whole day, that whole 7 hours is really dedicated. That whole 7 hours is really dedicated to show you and teach you how to build your own bot agency, where what you're doing is just selling bots as a service and building bots as a service. So we're going to cover everything from how to start from scratch, how to build out your bots, how to build your demo bots, how to target clients, how to acquire clients, how to sell to clients, how to close the deal, how to do your pricing structure, stuff like that. So it's totally viable. But so your question's a really relative question, Will, and it really depends on who you're trying to target and what your ultimate goal is. So if you want this to be a side hustle, then 5-10 hours you can build a bot, especially if you invest some 15-20 hours in if you invest some 15-20 hours doing the pre-leg work and building out all the generic flows that most bots are going to need, then you could just go in and whenever you want to deploy a bot, just copy those flows from one page to another page and build a bot within 4 or 5 hours pretty easily. Okay. So you could build a bot essentially after you do the initial legwork of building out the generic flows that you're going to use in each and every bot. Then you can deploy a bot in some 4 or 5 hours relatively easy. But in my opinion, your bot build should take 40, 60, 80 hours, okay? Because one, you want a high value, you want a high ticket item. You don't want to be out there chasing clients and finding a client with a $500 budget and building a bot for a $500 budget or for $1,000 budget. You want to find clients that have a minimum of $5,000 that they can invest in their bot. Ultimately, you are building them a magical marketing software. So you don't want to go after real low ticket builds, in my opinion. Now you can do that if you want, but that obviously, those low tickets obviously require you to have to go in and do a lot of damn work, and you're going to spend more time in looking for clients and trying to acquire clients than you are going to actually spend building the actual bots themselves, and you're going to get a really low value for that. So when I build a bot for a client, for example, if you were to engage me to build a bot for you, we're going to spend between 10 to 20 hours in conversation before I ever even start planning your bot. So before I ever even get on my whiteboard back here and start planning out your bot and start planning out the flows of your bot, I'm going to spend 10 to 20 hours physically talking to you about. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what is your business? What does your business do? And why? Why do you do that? Why are you, so you're going to tell me, I'm an insurance agent. So why? Why did you choose to be an insurance agent? What drew you to insurance? Why didn't you become a realtor? Why didn't you become a rocket scientist? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what your passions are. I'm going to find your voice. I'm looking for your voice because I want to transpose your voice in your bot. Now, some people will go out and tell you that, you need to clearly tell everybody, hey, this is a bot, deal with my bot. I'm going to tell you, you really don't want to do that. I mean, you can tell people on your page, hey, I have a bot, here's a bot here, and it helps me out. But what you really want to do is you want your bot's voice and your bot's personality to mimic yours as close as possible. And the reason that you want to do that is because people value their time, right? We've already established that. People really value their time. And because people value their time, people are going to assume that you must be valuing your time too. You must value your time. So any time that you spend with somebody, even if you're just talking to them, even if you're just messaging them, anytime you spend talking to somebody is going to create a value relationship between the two of you guys, right? If we're having this conversation, you just think even after this training session here, let's say it's an hour, 2 hour training session, at the end of this training session, I guarantee you, all of you guys will value me, right? Our relationship will start to have a value in it because we're spending time together. Even if you don't learn anything from me, just the fact that we're spending time together creates a value bond between our relationship. So now if you go in and you get your bot and its voice and its personality to match your voice and your personality, or to match the brand and the voice and personality of your business, then whenever people are interacting with your bot, even if they know it's a bot, even if they clearly understand that this is a bot, if the bot's voice and personality matches yours, you're going to create value for nothing. You don't have to do anything. The bot's doing everything. But every message that bot sends out, if it mimics you and it seems like it's you and it has your voice and your personality, it's going to start to create a huge amount of value without any effort from you. So before I ever start any type of building or any type of planning, we're going to spend 10, 20 hours just having conversations. I'm going to find out what business you're in, why you're in that business, what you're passionate about, why you're doing that. Then I'm going to figure out what your pain points are. What are you struggling with? What are your real pain points? What are you doing great at? What are you excelling at? Well, I'm going to figure out all your current processes. What are the things that you do on a day-to-day basis? What's your routine? Everybody kind of has a little routine that there's things that they do every single day. We're going to go in and discover and figure all this out, because until I know all this information, I have no way to even give you any advice or even actually figure out what the bot could do other than just, vomit out some content or ask somebody for an email address. And that's not really valuable, right? That's not valuable enough to get somebody to pay you $20,000. Just if all my bot's doing is, I'm just gonna mute all you guys right now. You're free to unmute yourself anytime you want. So anytime you want to talk, I love to have two-way conversation. Anytime you want to talk, you can just always unmute yourself. But if you're gonna have some crazy noise going on in the background, or have dogs barking or whatever, then just mute your mic. And if you don't mute your mic, I'll just do it for you because it's a pain in my ass, honestly. So. So first, if you want to get somebody to give you a high value, no one's going to give you, trust me, you're never going to walk into anybody and say, hey, I build bots. I'm a bot builder. I've got this thing. It will really, really help your business. It will be great. It's going to cost you $1,000 or it's going to cost you $20,000, whatever your price point is. No one's going to buy from you. And if they do buy from you, they're going to buy from you at a very, very, very low value. But if you walk in and you tell them, hey, I build bots that really help people. I know I can build a bot that will really help you. But in order to build a bot that is going to help you the most and provide you the most value and save you the most time or generate you the most revenue, we need to talk. We need to figure out what your pain points are. We need to figure out what your voice is. We need to figure out what things that the bot should be doing or could be doing to either make you more money or save you time. So we need to have this dialogue. Plus that dialogue alone, plus that 10 to 20 hours of dialogue creates a huge value between you and your client. Now they really begin to value you, right? So now after that 10 or 20 hours of just pure dialogue to understand what that business does, what do they want to focus on, what their pain points are, what their voice should be, what their brand's all about, what their motto is, what's the personality of that person or what's the personality of that company, what are their daily processes, what are all these repetitive tasks that they do, what's their intake like for a new client, what's their flow like to deliver their service or deliver their product. Once we figure all this out, then we can come right over here to this drawing board and we can start actually planning out what the bot's going to do. We can actually start planning out the flows. Once we actually plan out the flows, well, guess what? Somebody's got to create some content. Somebody's got to curate some content and create some good engaging content for the bot. Somebody has to go in, someone has to go in and then create some engaging images. If you want to use stock images, you can, but you still have to find those good images. So you can see now that this starts, and then you obviously want to test the bot, right? You want to go in and test it. You don't want to introduce some bot that hasn't been tested thoroughly on some page for some client that's got some 50,000 subscribers, and then they all go in and start interacting with the bot, and then he realizes that instead of actually getting more subscribers, instead of actually providing a value to his subscribers, he's actually losing people off of his page because the bot's pissing him off. So you really want to go in and do that testing. So you can see that now all these, and honestly, whenever you're approaching your clients, you need to lay out that you're going to do all of these things, and you need to itemize these things and tell them and make them understand all the things that you're going to do, even if you feel like that thing is just naturally implied in your service. If you feel like it's naturally implied that you're going to create the content from the bot, so you're not going to itemize that and what you're going to do, and you're not going to talk about that with your potential client, even if he naturally implies and naturally understands that you're going to create that content for him, he's not going to be thinking about that when he's looking at your price tag. So if you want to increase that price tag, you also need to actually increase the dialogue of each and everything that you're actually going to do for him. So now you can see just in this already, we've already spent some 40, 50, 60 hours in starting to actually build out this bot. Now, once we get the bot built and once we do the initial testing to make sure that it actually works, right? Well, now we actually have to do the use testing to go in and see how the users are interacting with the bot. We've tested to make sure all the flows are correct and everything's working perfectly in the bot. And after we go in and check that out, now we actually have to see how is the user engagement? How are the users engaging in this bot? Because if the users aren't engaging in it, right, if they're not using it properly and engaging it properly, well, the bot is worthless. So we have to have some oversight time for that. We actually have to monitor the bot for some time time, introduce it to some users, monitor it, make sure that they're actually using it properly, that we don't need to actually go in and tweak the flows and add new call to actions, because what we thought was intuitive isn't actually intuitive for our users and they're not using it correctly. So now that adds even more additional time. On top of that, we probably want to go in and maintain it. We're going to be constantly adding new content to the bot. So it starts to rack up. It starts to rack up time. So but if you take that approach, trust me, if you take that approach, you'll be much better off. What would you rather do? Would you rather work with 2 clients a month, right? Would you rather work with 2 clients a month and make 20K a month? Or would you rather work with 10, 15, 30 clients and make some 15 or 20K a month? You'd much rather work just with it, because it's much easier to understand and have a good relationship with 2 people and know exactly what to talk about with 2 people than try to remember for 15 or 20 people what you're actually doing. So and trust me, and if you're taking that approach, those 1 or 2 clients that you're spending a lot of time with and creating this huge value in, those guys are going to drive you traffic, right? They're going to talk to their little business friends and they're going to be like, yeah, John, that guy is awesome. He's an expert. There's this other guy in town, and he came to me and he was like, give me $1,000. I got a bot. It will help you. He didn't try to spend any time with me. So they're going to recommend you, and they're basically going to help you with your sales.
Neat. Thank you. That's awesome.
So what can I teach you guys today? This is how I always approach my training class. I just leave it open to you guys to tell me what insights you want, what questions you want answered, what examples do you want to see, what things do you want to build. So you let me know what you want to learn today, what you want me to teach you today, and then I'll just do that.
I feel like I'm the only one in the room. I don't know. Let's walk through a flow or show me. Surprise us, since nobody seems to be.
Okay. So let's kind of go through Greg's question here. Greg said he used text to win platform before. I changed this into Facebook post engagement ad with bot to perform the text to win deal. Question: how would you set up the bot to make sure people can only enter once? Second, send out one-time coupon offer, but same queue. I'm not sure I understand that. I'm thinking that I'm not understanding what this queue is. Does this queue mean question? How do you make sure they only get one and can't re-enter? Well, you're going to do that just like I'm doing. You're going to do that just like I did here. So I just showed that just a minute ago. So you're just going to use a conditional. You're just going to use a conditional. You're just going to use a conditional check. So just like you see here when I bought, if I say one-time use, if I say one-time use coupon, you can see he says he just automatically responds to me. I see you've already got one. You've already got a one-time use coupon from us. These coupons can only be used once. So this only lets him do this one time, right? Now, how does that happen? Well, that just happens with a variable and a conditional block. So you put a you put a conditional check in here. All right. So you put a conditional check inside here, and that's it. You just have some conditional checks. So we can go in and actually build that out if you want to. So it looks like, are you running some type of contest, some type of promotion, right? That's gonna be my assumption, right, Greg? You're running a contest. It's the same contest that you always run. You're always going to run this one contest, and people can only enter once, or you're going to run multiple. Yeah. Okay. So it's VIP tickets to event. Okay. So let's just let's just copy and paste that and create a new content. One things I really want to stress to you guys. One things I really want to stress to you guys, and you guys, honestly, you do whatever the hell you want. If you don't want to listen to me, you know, I just started my company from the ground up, from nothing. Got 30 engineers that work for me. I built it up in 2 years. I'm a really great bot builder. So it's up to you whether you want to listen to me or not. But my suggestion is I see a lot of people, and what they do is they want to go in and they want to create something. So they come in here and they come to some keyword, and then they create some new keyword, and then they go in and then they add some message or something to it. So my suggestion is your starting point is always right here in this content. Anytime you want to do something, start right here in this content, create a new piece of content. Keep everything modular and keep everything robust. Keep everything segregated into its own isolated little unit so that you can go in and you can reuse that piece of content over and over and over again as many times as you want. Give those piece of contents very meaningful names so that you automatically know what flow that content represents. So for that, we're going to use your name. This is VIP tickets to event. So we're going to create this flow here, and then we're just going to come in here to our settings real quick, and we're going to create a custom field. Now, whenever you create this custom field, you can have a few different options. So we're going to put we'll put VIP event entry. We're gonna make this a Boolean, and then I'll create one more, and we'll make this a number, and we'll call this count. And the only reason I'm doing two of them is so that because there's so many different ways we can skin a cat. There's so many different ways that we can build something. So in case you don't like the first way, we can build it out a second way. So this is the VIP tickets event. So the very first thing I'm going to have here, is a condition, okay? And this condition, I can have one or two conditions. I'm going to go in, and let's say the first condition is going to be this VIP event entry. So if this guy is true, so I'm going to change this to, is this guy false? Because if this guy is false, that means this guy has not entered the contest yet. So if he's false, I can go in and continue with some flow to get him to get some coupon and get him into the contest. Now, if this guy is false, if this guy is true, that means this condition will evaluate to no. So since this condition evaluates to no, that means that this guy has already entered into our contest. I'm just going to send him a message that says you've already entered this contest. Okay, so that's how you can assure that he only does this, once. So now he's only going to actually get into this contest one time. Now, your other option is you can have a different conditional block, and in this conditional block, you can use this count, right? And in this count, you can say is less than any particular number. So let's say less than or equal to 3. So now you can allow this guy to enter the contest 3 times. If you want to allow him to enter the contest 3 times, then if you want to allow him to enter the contest up to 3 times or up to 2 times or 5 times, or pick your magic number, then you want to use a number variable and then run your condition to check what that number is. And then at some point, obviously what you would do, okay, so this is lesser than equal to 3. If this evaluates to yes, then let him enter into the contest. If it evaluates to no, it's not, then he's already entered this contest 3 times. Then go in and tell him he can't enter this contest. And then probably what you'd want to do here is have some action group. And in this action group, what you would want to do is you would want to come over here and you would want to set a custom field and value. And that custom field would be this VIP entry count. And what you would want to do is you would want to increase this number by 1. So now anytime he comes in to try to enter this contest, you're going to check this condition. If he's entered it less than 3 times, then you're going to let him enter, and you're going to increase the count for the amount of times that he's actually entered the contest. And then you could go down here, and this would be your flow where now you deliver him his coupon or whatever. You do whatever you need to do inside this flow. Once he reaches his threshold of the amount of times that he's allowed to enter this contest, then from this condition will fail. So you'll put him down here into this block that says, hey, you can't enter into this contest. Lizzie, you ask, can you set up broadcasts to send weekly content? No, you can't. But what you can do is you can set up a sequence. So you can't set up you can't set up a broadcast. A broadcast is a one-time thing. I'm going to get on a megaphone and I'm going to shout it out to all of my subscribers one time right now. Or maybe not right now, maybe tomorrow. I can schedule at a later date, or I can send it out right now, but that's a one-off thing. That's a one-time event. If you want a repetitive thing, if you want to say, hey, every week I want to send out some data, then for that, you want an actual sequence. So you can create a weekly sequence. You can create some weekly content. Now, in this weekly content, you can go in and set this where let's say after 7 days. Now, the only thing that you need to keep in mind here, the only thing that you actually need to keep in mind here is that you can set a schedule and everything, but this is all a complete relative time. So what that means is that this will not go out every Tuesday, or this will not go out every Wednesday or every Friday, okay? This will go out relative to the time that a user comes into this sequence. So if you come into this sequence, for example, if we just have these 2 messages right here, this goes out immediately, this goes out after 7 days, okay? Now we've got 7 people in this training event right now. So let's say I'm the first one and I come in and I get added to your sequence. So I'm going to immediately get this first message right here. And then after 7 days, so next Friday, I'll get this message. But let's say D, she comes in and she doesn't get added to the sequence until tomorrow. So now tomorrow, immediately, she'll get this message, and then she won't get this message until 7 days later. She won't get this until next Saturday. So the sequence can be whatever you want, Lizzie. The sequence is literally whatever you want, but you can see what the sequence is. The sequence just basically, you guys must be familiar with the term autoresponder, right? You must have heard people talk about autoresponders, or maybe you guys even use autoresponders. You use MailChimp, or you use ActiveCampaign, or some autoresponder like that delivers a series of emails according to a particular schedule. So you can think that this sequence here is literally like a Facebook Messenger autoresponder is what it is. You go in and you set up your content on a schedule, and that schedule is relative to when the user is subscribed to that sequence, and these time frames are all relative to the previous message. Now, a broadcast is different. A broadcast is going to um, go out whenever you schedule it. That's a one-time event, one message, okay? One message will go out, one flow will go out. That's it, one time. It will go out to as many people as you decide to send it to, but it's just going to go out once. That one message, however long that flow is, you're going to send only that one flow once. Compared to a sequence, you're going to put somebody onto a sequence, and then now they're going to get messages according to a sequence. A good example of that is if you look at this bot, I have a sequence here called motivation. Okay. So I've got this sequence called motivation where in this message, in this sequence, I've got all these different guys, and I actually need to go in and add some more in there. But in this sequence, I've got all these different guys where if you go to my bot and you go to the main menu, there's a button that says get motivated every day. And if you click on that, get motivated every day, you're going to immediately get this message as soon as you click on it. And then every day, every single day, you'll get a new message, a new motivational message. So if you were to go in and go to the bot that this is attached to, as soon as you go to the bot and subscribe to this sequence, it's actually on this guy right here. So if you were to come here, and it's actually on this guy right here. So if you look on this John Vaughn page, you see in my main menu, get motivated every day. That's one sequence. Get tech tips from John. That's another sequence. So if you click on this get motivated every day, as soon as you click on this get motivated every day, then you get the initial message in the sequence that says only you can prevent forest fires or motivate yourself. So you get that initial message. Now, what happens now is every single day for however many days was in this sequence, you're going to get a message. Let's say the second day, you're going to get delivered this message. What we think we become, which comes from Buddha. And then you'll get this message, and that's going to continue for all these days. And then that's the end of the actual sequence. But these do allow you to go in and set their schedule. So you could technically, you guys see my monkey back here in the background going crazy trying to eat me. You can go in and actually set the schedule here on this to limit this only on a particular day. So essentially, if you did that, you could set up a sequence that would only go out on Monday. So you could set up an every Monday sequence just by going in. And if you wanted to set up a sequence that goes out every Monday at 9:00, then you can go in and set up a sequence, and you could just change all these guys, turn all these guys off, and then go in and change this to be, you can go in and change this to send between a particular time where you just want to send it between 9 and let's say 10:00. So now this particular message is only going to get sent out on this time. So essentially what would happen if I updated this, so now essentially what would happen is let's say I go to that bot and I subscribe to the sequence. Today's Friday, right? So I go to the bot, I click get motivated every day, which essentially puts me into this sequence right here. So now I'm going to immediately get this message right here. And then the next day I should get this message, but the next day isn't Monday, so I won't get this message. So I'll have to wait 3 days. I'll have to wait until Monday before I get this message, even though it says after 1 day I should get this message. But I can only get it after 1 day as long as it falls within this schedule. So you're going to wait a minimum of 1 day. So you'll be waiting a minimum of 1 day. And then after that 1 day, the next available time, as soon as this time frame is available, then that message will follow out. And And yes, this is a relative thing. So this is a relative to a user's locale. So this is a relative message to a user's locale. So this is not going to be like everyone's going to get this at a different time. If your subscribers are all over the globe, they're going to get this at a different time, which is relative to it's relative to their actual locale. And you can do that here inside your flow builder as well. You can have in your condition, the conditions are really, really great. Inside that condition, you can check all sorts of different cool stuff. So you can have a condition where you check. You can have a condition where you check to see if somebody's subscribed to a particular sequence. If they're not subscribed to a particular sequence, you can put them in one flow. If they are, you can put them in a different flow. You can check somebody's gender, right? You can check and say, hey, if you're a man, do this. If you're a female, do this. You can check their locale, where they're physically located at. So you can look and see where these guys are physically located at in the world, and based on where they're located at in the world, then you can do something. You can set the condition based on their language, what language they speak, what time zone they have, when the last time they interacted with you, when the last time they've seen a message from you. So you can set it based on any of their actual custom fields as well. So to answer your question, you ask a question like a horoscope. Yes, you can. So just keep in mind, this broadcast is not automated. This broadcast is not going to go in and let's just do that, okay? Now, to do that, let's build this out for you. Let's go in and publish that. Let's come here to our sequences, and let's create a new sequence called horoscope. Now I want to come here to a piece of content and create a new piece of content called start horoscope. And in here in this start horoscope, I need to go in and just ask somebody when they were born. Right. For a horoscope, I need to know their birthday. I need to physically know their birthday. So I'm not going to ask them their birthday, because that's going to be exactly, Lizzie. That's what I was going to go in and do. I'm not going to ask them their birthday because that's going to be a little bit too complex. So instead, I'm just going to ask them to give me their sign. All right. So I'm going to ask them to. So I'm going to use a multiple choice, and then I want to go in and put in this horoscope sign. I would really highly suggest as well, guys, that if you want to get to a ninja level and you want to be really fast and efficient at building bots, learn your keyboard controls, learn your copy and paste controls, so that you can go in and as you're doing stuff, you can do things really, really quickly. So I'm going to go in and get this from them. And then actually I need to go in and Google this real quick and find out what these signs could actually be, because even I'm not aware what these signs are. So now that Google's nice enough to give me these signs and tell me what these signs could be, then we can go in and actually query these signs from our user. So it looks like we've got an Aries, a Cancer, got all sorts of stuff. So we got an Aries. Go back there. So we've got Aries, Cancer, that's what I am. Or this says Taurus. Leo and Virgo. And honestly, I don't know how many of these we're allowed to have, if we're going to get to a limit or not. So we're going to find that out as we do this, if they're going to give us a limit here. So he did give us a limit. So we can only put 10 of those in is the maximum that we can put in. So So in my opinion, what we're going to do is we're going to go in and delete all these guys. All right. That's what I would do. I would delete those guys. All right. So now we've deleted all these guys. Okay. And we're going to store that user input. And we're going to continue to another step. And then what we're going to do is in this step right here, we're just going to add a condition. And in this condition, we're going to come back over here and figure out that's horoscope sign. So in this condition, we're going to look for our horoscope sign. And we're going to say, if this is something else, then if that's true, then I want to ask you the rest of them. If it's not, then I'm going to continue with whatever my flow was. And then I know from here, what I'm going to end up doing from here is going back down to this. Because in this flow here, all I'm going to deal with is the fact that I couldn't put enough of these guys in. So now I'll go in and grab these guys from here, and I'll just copy that and put that over here in some user input. And then I'll do the same thing, multiple choice, and then find that horoscope sign, drop those guys in there, and then now give my quick reply. And first, before I can give my quick reply, I'm pretty sure I ended up Leo and Virgo, right? So I've got Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo. So I need to find the rest of those guys. So now I'll put those guys in there. That was Libra. I don't think I had Libra, right? Nope, good. So that was Libra. And then I've got Scorpio. I've got Sagittarius. Capricorn. Aquarius. And Pisces. So now here, what I'm going to do here, remember what I told you to make sure that you're giving content in a pace that your consumer can actually consume it in. Even if you want to let your consumer know that you're a bot, even if you want to let your user know you are a bot and you want to tell them every 5 minutes that you are a bot, I would still recommend giving some personal touch and make it appear that, you know, the bot is spending some time to do this and that, and not just automatically constantly dump out content. Because remember what I told you about creating that value. Even if your content is garbage, even if you have the worst content in the world, if you can get your user to spend their time consuming your content, it's going to create value. So if you just give, you know, a little delay here and there, and now you have your user watching your little bubbles in anticipation to get that content, you're not just spam instantly giving it out. You give some 3-second delay or 5-second delay, and you capture their attention for an extra 3 seconds or an extra 5 seconds while they watch your little bubbles and watch to see, hey, what are you going to say to me now, bot? Or maybe they think you're a real person. Either way, you're going to create more value because they're anticipating, they're waiting to try to see. You're not just dumping it out. So I almost always do that. I almost always just, even though it's not necessary, I give them I give them some little weight because it creates an anticipation. So now we're just going to literally ask our user how often do they want to get this. So now we'll give them these little options. So now if they say that they want it today only, what we're going to do is, at this point, honestly, I wish this was pretty for you, but this is not going to be real pretty. At this point, honestly, we have to have 12 conditional blocks. So we're going to need 12 conditional blocks with 12 different pieces of content to give them their content for today as their horoscope. So, and honestly, we don't actually have to do that. So we don't have to do that at all if you don't want to. So we could completely remove those conditional blocks by having an action group, triggering a zap called Get Horoscope, and then going out to a Google spreadsheet and looking up a horoscope for a particular type of person, for a particular type of sign, and then pulling back in the data from that Google sheet and delivering it back to our user. That way, every day you could just go in and update that spreadsheet, and that would be pretty straightforward. So, and you could even do that. You could even do that in your sequence if you want to. What do you mean a DSS? I'm not sure what you mean by a DSS to a horoscope website. So I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, Greg. Is that what you mean? You mean RSS? You could. You could. I mean, you could if you want to, but you could do that on the Zapier side as well. You could pull in an RSS feed and update your Google Sheets, and then pull in the data from your Google Sheets. So, like I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. There's a lot of different ways to skin a cat, and there's a lot of different ways that we could actually set this up. I mean, there's quite a few different ways that we can set this up. So it's just completely how you wanted to set it up. So we had a horoscope. I'm going to go in and change this to daily. So we got that daily horoscope. Let's create a weekly. And then let's create a monthly. So those are all actually created now. So now Now here, all we actually need to do, we can add an action group. We can add an action group here that this we would just subscribe to a sequence, and then we're going to give them the horoscope daily sequence. This we can just subscribe to a sequence and give them the horoscope weekly sequence. This we could just subscribe to a sequence and give them the horoscope monthly sequence. And then this guy, we could just trigger a zap called Get Today's Horoscope and go in and get today's horoscope. So let's trigger a zap. Oops. So let's trigger that zap. And then let's just come here to zap here. And let's make a zap. Let's pick mini chat as our trigger. Whenever a new zap is done, use our demo bot. Now I know what we're going to need. We need a Google spreadsheet. First, I guess I need to actually log into Google probably. So here I pretty just much need two values. So let's go in and let's put this horoscope data inside here. Let's put this horoscope data inside here. And then, oh, what do we need here? We need sign and a content, right? Is all we actually need. Let's give that content a big area, and then let's come back here. And grab this guy. Pipe all this in there. And then, is there some more items here? Yes, but you didn't let me copy and paste these guys. And now, Aries, Taurus, Cancer, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, is that Virgo? Yep, Libra, Scorpio. And you just don't let me. So I guess I'll just manually type those things. I just really hate to manually type stuff if I can copy and paste it. Plus, besides, I'm a really bad speller. Okay. So now PICES, now I've got all that done. Now this is done. Now what I'm going to do here, all right, I'm just going to take a shortcut. I'm just going to take the shortcut right here because I don't really care about the content. You guys would go in and actually update this content. All right. You guys would go in, and what you would do is every day you could just go in and actually re-update this content, because what we could do is literally in our sequences, all our sequences could literally be the same, where we just trigger a zap and go out and grab content from this sheet and then pull it back in our zap in our sequences, so that we actually in our sequences, every single message of our sequence would look exactly the same, because all it does is go in and actually pull data from this. And now that's just dependent that you actually update this sheet. And you could do that other ways. You could also go in and create a zap that would go in and do like Greg suggested, and go in and actually pull in data from an RSS feed and update these particular fields every day. So now pretty much every day automatically the content here is being updated with the actual horoscope for that particular sign automatically by some zap. And whenever your sequence message is running, it's just going out and fetching this data right here and returning it back to the user. So I love automation too. It's pretty great. So now what we want to do is we want to fetch and continue. Then I also know that what we want to do is come over here to our audience and unknown subscribers. See this guy active. I'm going to get rid of that guy. And the reason I'm getting rid of that guy is he's an unknown subscriber, so I can't get any information about him. And since I can't get any information about him, I'm not going to be able to test my zap, because it's going to come back with null data. So now I can get this other guy, this Lewis person. So now this Lewis person, I can go in and actually set their can go in and set this horoscope sign. To Cancer. So now this guy can be Cancer. I'll fetch and continue him again. So now what I'm going to do is choose an app, and this is going to be Google Sheets. And I want to look up a row. I want to use this horoscope data that we just created. I'm going to use sheet 1. The lookup column is going to be sign. And the value that I'm going to look up is this horoscope. I'm going to look that up. So I need to add an action step. Now, even here, we have several ways we can skin this cat here as well. So what we can do is we can send the message back through Zapier, through ManyChat as a text, or what we could do is we could set a user's custom field. We could have a custom field called today's horoscope, and we could literally set that here, and then we could go in and have custom pieces of content that would deliver back that horoscope. Now, in that custom piece of content, that's what I prefer to do, is use that custom piece of content, because in that custom piece of content, we can have some images, we can have some call to actions and stuff to keep the user engaged with our bot. With the text, we can't do that with the text. We're literally just going to send back nothing but a text. So, but we're going to do the text just for the first process, all right? For the first process, we'll do just the text. So we'll go in and do ManyChat. And then we're going to go in and send a text message to a user. And then we're going to use this demo bot. And then this guy's user ID. is going to be a custom value. And it's going to be the value coming from step 1, his user ID. And so now another really good practice that I want you guys to really just take my word for. Another really good practice is, you see you're going to trigger this zap right here. Whatever this data is, whatever zap that you're actually going to trigger, just please name this zap that as well. Whenever you're giving this guy a name that zap that, so that you can easily go in and find it. If you are building multiple bots, go in and say which bot this is for, so that once you have 600 zaps going on, you don't have to spend in your, let's say you got 600 zaps going on and you need to change one of them, and it's a 7-minute change that you actually have to do. You don't want to spend 3 hours looking for a particular zap so that you can do a 7-minute change, because that is just completely stupid. So now what we're going to do is, we had this thing right here. I want to copy this guy, and then I'm going to come over here to my keywords. And for my keywords, I actually want to go back here and just look at Google and figure out how to, I'm sorry, I'm just a really, really bad speller. So I have to look up, I have to look up words. So I'm going to say this is message creates. I'm going to create a new reply, go to flow builder, and then I'm just going to create some, actually I don't even need to do that action because I already got them sitting right there. So now my bot should be able to do that. And my bot's not actually going to do that. And I'll tell you why my bot's not actually going to do that, because he has not went through any actual flow to, because he hasn't went through any flow to actually, so let's do this real quick. Just show you how easy this is. So let's grab him, paste him in here. And then just let's add a condition here as our starting step. And then if it's unknown, and that's true. So I actually just want to reverse that. And I don't have to reverse it. I can leave it like that. I'm real anal about lines crossing and stuff. So I don't like lines to cross. And I need to actually, if this is unknown, then I need to send him down here to get his thing. And if it's not unknown, which means it has a value, I need to send him up here. And honestly, for no reason at all, but honestly, this right here just really really bugs me to the point where I would just want to go in and do something like that, to not have these lines cross each other, because I don't like lines to cross each other. So now I'm going to go in and actually do that. So now, hopefully you follow this flow. Now, whenever a user, this is if they give a keyword that contains horoscope, I'm literally just creating this to test out the sequences that we're doing to make sure that that zap that we're creating just is actually working. So whenever a user gives us a keyword horoscope, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look and see if their horoscope sign is unknown. If it is unknown, we're going to come in here and ask them for their sign, where they can give us any of these signs. And then after they give us one of these signs, we're going to continue to see if their sign is something else. So if they told us their sign is something else, then we're basically going to send them over here to allow them to pick from the other 6 values. And then once they pick that, we're going to automatically continue, and we're going to come over here, and we're going to trigger this zap. If they set it over here and it wasn't something else, then we're going to come in and trigger this zap. If it wasn't unknown in the first place, meaning I know it, then I'm just going to go ahead and trigger this zap. So I should be good with everything that I need to do. So I think I can now go in and type in horoscope again. And now you can see he goes in and tells me, and I'm going to say I'm a Cancer because that's what I am. And now I should get some data. See, there's my data that's coming back from Zapier right there. So now I got some data coming back from Zapier, so we can test and see that that data from Zapier actually works. So since that data from Zapier actually works, we can come back over here to our flow, and we know that now this is done, right? So this flow is completely done. We're triggering this zap. Here we're subscribing these guys to a sequence, so we can publish that flow and set for, we need to go in and delete that guy right there. So we can get that guy, and then what we would do in our sequences is, let's say in our sequence, what I want to do is I want to do this. I'm going to copy that guy. Then I'm going to come back out to my sequence, and then and this guy, I just go to this message, edit this message, get rid of that message, go to this flow builder because I don't like that basic builder, continue automatically, put in that zap from that other step, which is get today's horoscope, and just tell this guy, so now I'm going to put that in. I'm going to publish that. Actually, what I want to do here is I want to come in here, and I want to come to this template, and I just want to remove that, and then I'll handle that part of the message somewhere else. I'll handle that part of the message over here, because now all that's going to actually be returned is that. So all I wanted to do now is come back to this guy, not that guy. I wanted to go to that keyword that is, oh, it's this one right here, contains horoscope. So contains horoscope, and actually what I need to do is send a message. Here's today's horoscope. And now what I need to do is I just want to keep in mind where everything, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to reroute, and anything that's going to this zap right now, I'm going to first send here, and then after it comes here, then I'll send it to the zap so that they first get, here's today's horoscope, and then right after they get this, they'll get that message coming from Zapier. They'll get the actual horoscope coming from Zapier. So I'm just going to come one at a time to make sure that I don't screw anything up. And there's that. And let me, yes, and I'll show you that if you could, just do me a favor. Let me go in here to this growth tool. Let me create a new growth tool real quick called this. So if you could just click that link right there that I just sent you. Okay. So I only had you do that just so that I could send this broadcast out to you guys, and it's just going to go to you guys only. So now let's just come in here, and I want to send out. I need to actually send you this. So let's just actually create a broadcast. All right. Let's create a broadcast. Go to our flow builder. Let's create this. If I want to, I can just add an action, subscribe to a sequence, 7-day content sequence. I'm not going to put any stuff in there. All right. So now if I want to, I can come back here to this broadcast that I'm creating. Boom. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm even going to get rid of that right there because I don't care about that. So I'm just going to subscribe you to a sequence. Now I'm going to go next, and I'm going to send this out to anybody that has that horoscope tag. Now I'll send you guys there. Now, guess what? You guys have all been subscribed to that sequence. You didn't even get a message from me, but you've been subscribed to that sequence. So now if I come back here to my audience and I go to horoscope, see, you're on the 7-day content sequence. You're on the 7-day content sequence. You guys are all on my sequence, by the way, now. All 4 of you guys, because you clicked my link. So yeah, you can do, like I said, man, I've been trying to tell you guys, like I said, you can literally do anything that you want, almost anything your mind can imagine, you can pretty much do. So, and it doesn't take that long. You see, I mean, I don't know how long we've been on this demo, but within, but I know creating that flow, let's say maybe took maximum 35 minutes to create that horoscope flow. And now literally all you have to do is go in every single day or whenever you want. Right now you have to do it every single day whenever you want. You just go in and update this content. You find your content for, these guys, the Leos and the Libras and all those guys, and you just update that. And now if anybody types in a keyword to get their horoscope, you're going to return them back today's horoscope. And then that's all we would do inside that's all I would propose doing, honestly, inside these sequences, inside this sequence. I would just say inside this sequence, you would have some message that would just go in and do that. It would just trigger that. Literally, all your message would do is just trigger that zap and say, hey, here's your sequence. And it would just come in. See you, D. It would just come in and trigger that zap, so that now you don't even have to. Now, literally, you could just come back in here and you can just, let's delete this guy, delete that guy, delete that guy, delete that guy. Now he doesn't let me copy that guy. So I can just go in and say, hey, this is a I just actually want to come in here and delete that guy because he's not needed. Just create this new flow here. Now that guy's done. So now we could go back to our sequence. And in this horoscope daily, we could just go in and add these guys and select this existing guy, select that guy, create a new message, select existing, select that guy. And we could just keep doing that. Now we got 3 days worth of horoscope. So we could just keep doing that and just keep selecting that generic horoscope message. And literally, if we set up our automation right to go in, if we go in and actually now set up some automation to automatically update this, or if we just hire a VA from the Philippines or someplace, or from where I'm at in India, if we just hire some VA that is a skilled labor, but due to economies of scale, they just cost so much less, right? We hire those guys, or we just do it ourselves when we spend, how long would this take me to update this spreadsheet every day? 6 minutes, 7 minutes maximum to go in and actually update this. So now as long as I go in and update this every day, then every single day I could just go in and keep copying and pasting that same exact message over and over and over again, but my users are going to be getting a new horoscope every single day. So pretty straightforward. So what else? Can you get me some matches? And can you get me some tea, please? Tea. Chai. Thank you. See you, Greg. So anything else you guys want to go over? Yeah, ask him. No problem. If you want to use your mic, you feel free to turn your mic on, Lizzie. That's no problem. If you just want to type them in the box, I prefer the verbal conversation because it's just so much easier and so much faster. But if you don't want to talk on the mic, that's fine. You just dump it in the. Yeah, I've got a bunch of loud kids. I got 30 of them that work for me. I mean, they're not kids. They're full-grown adults. I just like to call them kids. I feel like they're my kids because I got to do everything.
Awesome around.
Yeah.
Well, I have so many questions. My friend dumped this on me kind of sporadically. I'm not prepared.
Yeah, sure.
With so if I send out a broadcast and then have an action on the yes button for a subscription, I can trigger it back to like the sequence thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did in that broadcast. In my broadcast, I had nothing but an action. My broadcast, I just broadcasted out nothing but an action and then just use that action to add people to a sequence. But if you wanted to in your broadcast, you could have some message and then have a call to action, yes. And then if somebody clicks that yes, then use that to add them to a particular sequence that you have, like your daily horoscope or weekly horoscope.
Okay. Now, would you recommend like having your welcome landing or whatever done first before you start the sequences and stuff? Or can you go ahead with that kind of stuff and then add the landing page? Or I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if I was actually understanding what you're saying.
Like a starting point with the messenger. Should I introduce it to the audience first and then, or just set out a broadcast to the audience and see who bites? Did that make more sense?
Well, do you have an audience already? Do you have subscribers?
Yeah, about
already?
9,000. Yeah, about 9,000 people, but not to the bot. We're just setting up the bot.
Okay, so you don't have any subscribers in the bot yet. You've got 9,000 people who are following your page or who have liked your page, is what you're saying.
That who actively follow the page.
Okay.
Hence the bot. It's getting a bit much.
Okay, so you got some 9,000 people that actively follow your page. So yeah, I would go in, and what I would do is I would go in and you could do a couple different things. You definitely want to set up the basics of your bot, all right? You most definitely want to set up the basics of your bot. What are the basics of your bot? You want to set up the basic things in your bot that you want set up is you want to come here to settings and you want to set up your greeting text. You need to have your greeting text set up, okay? So get your greeting text set up. Then you want to come in. You want to set up your welcome message. You need to get your welcome message set up. But let's skip your welcome message for now. You want to get this default reply set up. Now, in this default reply, I really recommend that you set up some default reply very, very similar to mine, okay? So set up a default reply really similar to this, where whenever somebody triggers your default reply, that means that your bot doesn't know what to do with them. Your bot can't automatically respond to them. So what you want to do is you want to open up a conversation and send yourself a notification that you need to go respond to that person so that you can weed them out. Now, for that to be successful, what you want to do is you want to go to your live chat. You want to go to your settings in your live chat, and you want to make sure that this bottom option is what's checked. That live chats need to be explicitly created, which means that the only time a live chat will be created is whenever you say open conversation. Other than that, they won't show up in this live chat here. That way you can, thank you so much. That way you can easily manage and not have to look at conversations that your bot's having with people, and you can only look at conversations that you physically need to reply to because your bot couldn't handle. Okay, so that's why I do that in this starting step. As soon as you get them to my default reply, I know my bot has not been able to serve you any content, so you're physically waiting on me to come give some content. So I'm going to open up a conversation, and then I'm going to notify admins that, hey, this person needs some help. Then after that, I'm going to immediately follow up and tell you, and this bot, I tell you that I couldn't understand you. could you rephrase the question? And then I actually store your input. I store whatever data that you give me, and then I send that to Zapier to a spreadsheet so that I can go in and actually see all the messages that weren't replied to, and then I can go in and I can go in and update my bot. I can go in and actually update my. I can go in and update my bot so that now I can start replying automatically to that content. So in some of my other bots, like in my personal bot, my default reply just says, "Hey, actually, one of my clients is calling me. Can you just hold on for a few minutes?" So that because I don't let people know that's a bot. I just make them think that they're physically talking to me. So, but you definitely, even if you don't do this step, you definitely want to do this step. You want to notify admins and open up a conversation so that you can easily manage that. Okay. So you want that default reply set up. You want that greeting text set up. You want that welcome message set up. In your welcome message, you want to go ahead and take some time to do maybe some segmentation and get some data and store some data about your users. Ask them some questions, give them a couple tags, set a couple custom fields so that you can make the most use of your promotional broadcast. Whenever you make broadcast, you can send it out to people who want to consume a particular type of content. So you can do all that in your welcome message. Okay, so you get those three things set up. Maybe set up your menu so that you can have a few call to actions to get them in that menu. The things that you want, the actions you want people to do the most. Whatever actions you want people to do the most, then you need to go in and set those actions up in your menu. So set your greeting text, set up your default reply, and your default reply, make sure that you've got it set up in a way that you can easily manage the people that need your attention. Set up your welcome message, and your welcome message, probably try to do some segmentation and get some additional information about your users, what their favorite color is, what music they like, do they like do they like chocolate or do they not like chocolate, or whatever your page is about. Obviously something that relates to your page and the content that you're trying to give them, so that you can optimize the content that you're giving them based on their input and their feedback. Then set up your menu. All right, then get your menu set up, and then after that, you've got pretty much two options. You can just, you could do a couple things then. Now, what you can do is you can go to your growth tools. You can create one of those ref URLs like I've created that. If you remember, I created this while we were here, and I just used that to tag you guys that you wanted a horoscope, so that I could send out that broadcast just to you guys to show you that broadcast could be just an action and add you to a sequence just like that. So go in and you can set up a ref URL so that you can just share that link on your page or anywhere in the world, anywhere on the internet. And whenever a user clicks that link, they're funneled right into your bot and whatever conversation that you want them to. Or you could go in and set up a comments growth tool. You could set up a comments growth tool and attach that to different posts on your page, so that now as people comment on your post, then you automatically reply to them. And then if they send you a message, they're now subscribers in your bot and you can remarket to them. And I did mute you, just so you know. So if you want to talk, that's fine. You just need to unmute yourself. So that's where I would start. So what else? What other questions you had? You said you had a lot of them. do admins have the same page as owners? Or would it be better to set it? I mean, if you're an admin to a Facebook page, then you can go in and set a bot up for it. So it doesn't matter whether you're the physical owner or you're not the physical owner. And just so you know, when you make somebody an admin, then they can take over your page. So if you make somebody an admin, they can remove you as an admin. So it doesn't. An admin is essentially an owner. If you make somebody else an admin, then they can actually remove you as an admin, and they can be the owner of the page now. So. But essentially, it doesn't matter. If you're an admin of a page, then you can go in and connect that page to ManyChat and create a bot on it. So it doesn't matter whether you're it's from the owner page. I'm not sure if I understood your question properly, though, but you need to have admin rights to be able to create the bot, to link the bot up in ManyChat, and then you can create it. Yeah, yeah. There's there's going to be several sessions. There's going to be several sessions like this, and then if you haven't already, you can go in and sign up for this training. It's 35 hours of training every Saturday in December, and then Monday through Friday, there's going to be 3 or 4 sessions like this every day, next Monday through Friday, all the way up until our actual live training starts. So there's already, that's what I was just looking at here. There's already 337 students that have signed up for this training. And then the guys at ManyChat are going to start promoting it, they said, over the weekend, and try to get some another 1,000 other ManyChat users in, because it's really ManyChat specific. All the bots that we build, we're going to build on the ManyChat platform, since that's my favorite platform to use. I think I'm going to do the same thing though, guys. I think I'm going to take a little break for like 30 minutes, and then I'll send you guys out another notification once this, I'll send you out another notification once I'm about to start the training, because I'm going to take a break for like 30 minutes, and then I'll start another live training. But this link that you joined, this Zoom link that you joined, is a static link. So you can click that link at any time, and if there's a training session on, you'll just be automatically routed into the current training session, because it's the same link. It's a static Zoom link. So anytime you can just check and click that link. Even if you don't get a notification, you can just click on that link, and if there's a training session in process, then you'll be in that training session. If there's not, then you'll just be in a waiting screen, and as soon as the training session starts, you'll be in there. But I will send you guys out. I will send you guys out a notification. I mean, you will get a notification. You will get a notification only if you have this tag that says that you want training today. So if you're one of the 47 people that have this tag that you want training today, then I will send you out a notification that I'm going to start another training session, and I'll do that probably in about 30 minutes. Let's see, what time is it in EST? So I'll do that probably right around 12:15 or 12:45 p.m. I'll do the next training session. I do appreciate your time, guys, though. So thanks for coming. I'm going to end this one, and like I said, I'll send you guys out a link, or you can just click this link again at 12:45, and we'll have another training session, okay?